Good morning, one and all. This is a continuation of the earlier lecture on Introduction to Data Science. In today's lecture, we are going to discuss about data science problems classification. Data science problems can be broadly categorized into two types. One is supervised learning problem. Another one is unsupervised learning problems. What is supervised learning problem? A supervised or directed data science learning tries to infer a function or relationship based on labeled training data and uses this function to map new unlabeled data. Supervised techniques predict the value of output variables based on a set of input variables. To do this, a model is constructed or developed from a training data set where the values of input and output variables are known. The model generalizes the relationship between the input and output variables and uses it to predict for a data set where only input variables are known. The output variable that is being predicted is also called a class label or target variable. That is, let me discuss about this supervised learning problem by taking an example. Say I have a data set with input variables and an output variable. The output variable we call it as target output. Input variables are the variables such as age, income, student, credit rating, etc. in a customer data set. And output variable is a variable like Buy's computer. The values of output variables are yes or no. So it takes two values, then the problem is called binary classification problem. If it takes more than two values, then it is called multi-class classification problem. Now, we take a customer data set with four input variables, that is age, income, student, credit rating, and an output variable Buy's computer. Now I take a data set with the number of tuples Each tuple is associated with a class label. This data is called training data. Or a training data is a data which is associated with class labels for each tuple in the data set. Using this training data, we are going to construct a model. Once a model is constructed, using that model, you are going to predict the class label of a new data tuple. Example, in the above data set, I construct a model. Then using that model, if I want to find whether a new customer is going to purchase computer or not, I give input as a tuple with values of the input variables. The model takes the tuple as input and it predicts class label of that tuple as either yes or no. So these kind of problems we call supervised learning problems in data science. The second type of problem is what is called unsupervised learning problem. Unsupervised or undirected data science problem discovers hidden patterns in unlabeled data. In unsupervised learning problem, there are no output variables to predict. The main objective of these kind of problems is to find the patterns in data based on the relationship between the data points themselves. That is, in unsupervised learning problem, we are considering a data set with only input variables. The output variable is not necessary. We take a data set with input variables. Using the data, we are going to discover a kind of patterns in that data. That is the relationship between the tuples. That is, we are going to get as output. This kind of problems, what we call it as unsupervised problem. Next, coming to data science problems can also be classified into tasks such as classification, regression, association analysis, clustering, anomaly detection, recommendation engines, feature selection, time series forecasting, deep learning, text mining, etc. as shown in the following figure. Out of these problems, some problems comes under supervised learning, some problems comes under unsupervised learning. Okay. Let me give you example for supervised learning problems, classification problem, regression problem, are examples for supervised learning. Clustering, association analysis are some examples for unsupervised learning problems. Apart from that, so many problems are there as I stated. That problems I have shown in this diagram. Thank you, one and all. We will continue the lecture in the next section. Thank you.